In this era of deep complexity,
He's a friend of CNN. That's why nobody watches CNN anymore, because they have no credibility.
beyond the edges of black or white,
America's just not just going to be great. America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing.
it's time to be notionally accurate.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to
Here are your hosts, Captain Kirk and some guy named Jason.
Welcome, everyone, to the 15th episode of the Notionally Accurate podcast. Located right here in my one-man's burden studios, my undisclosed compound. Located on the beautiful sunny beaches of the Swiss Alps. My name is Captain Kirk, and I'll be your affable host. Joining me on Notionally Accurate on a permanent basis is some guy named Jason, who dedicated followers of mine would recognize as my co-host of Poly Nonsense. Jason, go ahead and introduce yourself and tee up our first topic.
Well, all right, I will. Thank you so much for the introduction. For anyone who is following Captain Kirk, I mourn your life. That is a horrible. If you have someone who is obsessed with you, Captain Kirk, and knows who I am because of said obsession, that is a.
I have literal stalkers.
Thank you so much for joining us. That's good. You need something. The bad part about having a political show right now is that there's nothing to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of dry.
There's nothing. What are you going to talk about? There's nothing going on. No, this show is. We're going to have a great show today. We're going to talk about Trump and Elon. Russia, Ukraine, Trump's plan for Hotel Gaza. Would you say it? Hotel
Gaza?
I say it. Mara Gaza. Good tonight. I like that. Mara Gaza. And maybe the DNC and the Democratic response to this, plus the LA fires, and Kanye pulled a stunt over the Super Bowl it's something. And I think if we do this correctly, Kanye said maybe it can help help the show. Help our show.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
We'll take all comers. It's cool.
Who knows? But first, let's jump into Trump's team getting confirmed. I guess he's got everybody now except for two, right? When is the Kax Patel confirmation happening?
So I'd imagine by the end of the month, he'll be up for a floor vote in the Senate, and then he'll be confirmed at least 52 to 48.
So how does this work? Is there like a set schedule for the confirmation? Like, do they have to do certain things by a certain time? Because when you say, I think because no one has like a definitive date, like this has to happen by X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Like, so once the system or once the process starts, then how long? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand, I guess, is my question. I don't understand what's happening. I know.
So it's up to the Senate Majority Leader, and that's John Thune out of South Dakota. He has been working to schedule all these. First you need the committee hearings itself, and then you need to get them out of committee after having the hearings. And so once you are able to get them out of committee, which is typically like the Judiciary Committee or the Agriculture Committee, whatever it happens to be, then the Senate Majority Leader needs to set up a schedule to get them a floor vote. It depends on if they're on vacation, if they have to recall senators from a recess. It really depends on.
So senators can go on vacation knowing that there is a confirmation hearing. Like, oh, sorry, I got to go to the Poconos. Like, would they do
especially
that?
Especially those who wish to delay the process and prevent certain candidates from being.
Well, you and I have always said that what is the best job to have in government, the most influential with pretty light workload ish, is a senator. Man, he's a senator. There's only 100 of you, so
Yep.
That's the way to do it.
They're
All right, so
they're set up to be perfectly able to make a lot of money for themselves, either in government or once they get out of government, because they're in charge of confirming judges or confirming treaties. You know, the immense power.
That's awesome. Yeah, let's be a senator, dude. We have to figure that out. I don't know how we're going to do it. It's ridiculous. So the only thing we have left is the Kash Patel, and then who was the labor lady?
The labor secretary nominee.
I forget her name.
Lori Chavez de Reymer.
So those are the only two left. Those are the only two left, and they should both be confirmed. That gives Trump a full team, right?
I'm a little doubtful that Lori will survive the process, either whether she gets out of the committee or a full Senate confirmation vote, because she's considered by the Republicans too pro-worker, too pro-union, which I understand the concerns there, but you have to throw a bone to the workers somewhere. You can't have, nothing but Soros guys and the important like commerce and such, Treasury Secretary. So I don't know if she'll make it, but she's up for I think a committee vote within the next week. And then Kash Patel will be confirmed. He's going to be, I'd say, by the end of next week. Yeah.
Which is interesting because I thought he was because he's kind of extreme, isn't he? I mean, like, I know the Democrats don't like him, but I didn't think the Republicans liked him either. Like, I didn't think either side liked him.
Well, like Tulsi Gabbard or RFK Jr., they kind of hedged their answers on certain things in order to get confirmed. So, like Tulsi reneged on getting rid of the FISA,
the whole
Act 702.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that allowed them to spy on Trump. So, is it worth it to get confirmed then work? It might be.
Well, I voted for Trump, right? Voted for Trump, but I would not consider myself like a Trumper. I do like the reformation that is happening. I do like the gutting of the system. I like what he's doing. Yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily call myself a Trumper. I would put you in the box of being a Trumper. I would.
Oh yeah. I'm an OG supporter from when you rode down the escalator.
You voted
for the Libertarian Party candidates in 2016 and 2020, right?
I did. Yes, which you have
making
not.
a real difference there. I mean, that's important. You're making a real difference when you do that.
Which you have not. You have not. Let me forget.
How could I?
But no. So no. So
be very proud of those folks.
I bring this up for a reason.
Sure.
The reason why I bring it up is you being an OG MAGA guy, but then you used to wear MAGA hats where like I kind of feared for our safety. Like you would wear it, like okay, I know you're making a point here, dude, but
admittedly, we were right to be concerned. Yeah, especially where I was wearing that hat.
Geez, yeah, good job. Anyway, so as a MAGA dude, OG, MAGA OG, and MAGAOG.
MAGA.
What do you? Yeah, What do you think about Tulsi? What do you think about RFK? Because like Kash Patel, I think I can see him being a MAGA guy. What's his name? Who just confirmed? We got the Fox guy. What's his name? The Attorney General.
Defense Secretary.
Defense Secretary. That's right. I'm right down. I'm horrible with names. This is why I'm horrible. I think it's funny that I'm on a political talk show because I am horrible with names, and I always have been, and I don't care if I look stupid. That's just the way I am.
Well, I appreciate it because you are not a yes man, and you will ask questions, and you will try to make your point. So I like that.
Yes. Well, we did talk about earlier how you do have the capability of burying me at any moment.
Yes.
So it is kind of like I'm.
Right.
If I ever do decide to wrestle with you politically, you can at any moment take me out. So I have to be very careful. Well, no. And here's the thing: is I just can't offend you. That's all. And you're not offended. You don't get offended easy. You're not sensitive, but when you do, you know what I mean. Like I woke the bar. Yeah. So hey, listen. But no, okay.
Release the Kraken.
We have gone astray. The point. No, my point is, as a MAGA person, And as someone who, like, with Patel and with Hegseth, those guys, I can see, like, those are kind of like, they're outside the box. They're real MAGA. You know what I mean? Like, they're very...
They're America first.
But with Tulsi and RFK... Right, no, but I'm just saying, like, politically, like, they come at it, like, kind of outside of the system. Whereas Tulsi and RFK have both run for president. You know what I mean? So what do you, as a MAGA OG, how do you feel about Tulsi and how do you feel about RFK?
I love them both. I'm really glad they both are confirmed. They are a part of this coalition of America First Republicans that have successfully regained the levers of power. And I think both of them in their respective positions will do a fantastic job.
Really?
I do.
What if is RFK going to ban Diet Coke? Be honest. Do you think he's going to get rid of Diet Coke?
Yes. I think he's gonna take out fluoride. He's gonna take out mercury and vaccines, everything. He's gonna cure cancer personally.
Well, what's so funny is it's gonna be interesting to see what he does, because he's kind of like going to be separate a little bit. You know what I mean? He's going to be on his own little...
His focus is elsewhere.
Agenda. Yeah. But with Tulsi, I don't know. It's going to be... What they're doing right now is... I don't know. They're trying to change the system so much to where you would say, okay, now that Tulsi's in this situation, is she going to be corrupted by the system? But they're trying to, like, literally gut the system. So there's really nothing to be corrupted by. In a way. I mean, I know everyone, at least on the left, is super nervous about, Trump and all of this, and we'll get into Elon, because Elon's a whole different thing, but it's outside the box. But as far as his cabinet, Tulsi and RFK, is there anyone else that you can think of that is that politically connected, or is everyone else kind of the outside maverick choice?
So a lot of his choices so far have been kind of outside the box. You can just see that in the criticism of his candidates. Hegseth, he hasn't been on a board of Raytheon like the prior secretary was, Lloyd Austin. Even Kash Patel will be kind of an outside the box confirmation. I think it's right now his mandate to pick these kind of choices in order to usher in his vision of his policies.
Never's changed. We'll see. We're going to work together. It's what I find very interesting too is how different this is from 2016. Like 2016, half of his cabinet wanted him out. Half of his cabinet was working against him. Yeah. Yep. So this whole thing now is totally different. Attack, and it's going to be interesting. But that does bring us into Trump and Elon making these cuts, and if Tulsi goes in there and cuts things up, if RFK goes in there and cuts things up, I don't know. I don't think they're going to have as much of the left won't have as much of a response to it as Elon, because Elon is so far outside of the system. You know what I mean? Like he works for Trump, but in theory, no one voted for Elon.
And I think it was a package
deal. All.
I think it was a package deal that, okay, if I vote for Trump, Elon's going to come in and have some role in his presidency. I don't think it was a big secret. Unlike the complaints about Project 2025, which Trump has totally disavowed, people were aware, and I would imagine, unless we're saying the American people are stupid, they were aware that he was going to be a part of the administration if they voted for Trump.
Yeah. It just. Well, I mean, do you think Tulsi and RFK are going to be as influential in their respective areas as? And I mean, I guess not. They can't necessarily do it as Elon, because Elon is just doing what Elon is doing is unprecedented.
Well, Obama tried the same thing in 2011.
Well, from the day I took office, one of the commitments that I made to the American people was that we would do a better job here in Washington in rooting out wasteful spending at a time when families have had to cut back, have had to make some tough decisions about getting rid of things that they don't need in order to make the investments that they do. We thought that it was entirely appropriate for our governments and our agencies to try to root out waste, large and small, in a systematic way.
That's what DOGE is actually based on, is a program that the Obama administration announced in 2011 in order to combat waste, fraud, and abuse. Even use the same kind of language that Elon's using. It's almost frightening, but a lot of complaints about DOGE is that it's not getting to Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the real drivers of the debt. Unfortunately, Trump has already said he doesn't want to touch Social Security or Medicare benefits.
Yeah, Trump is politically smart. Those are third. I mean, he's not going to touch the third rail issues. You know what I mean? Like,
he would not have won if he had said he would go after those programs.
Yeah, absolutely not. What boomer is going to vote for him? There's not a boomer in the nation that would vote for him if he said anything about Social Security, and he knows that. But what he can do is he can go through and do some serious cuts, though. I mean, the USAID thing or AID is the stuff that's coming out of it is absolutely insane.
As for the actual receipts, we are happy to provide them, and I actually brought some today because all of you know I love to bring the receipts. We have contracts upon contracts that we can send and provide this information to you. Let me be very clear. We are not trying to hide anything. We have been incredibly transparent, and we will continue to be. These are screenshots of contracts that DOGE found across our government. This is a DEI contract, $36,000 for U.S. citizenship and immigration services. That is against the president's policies and his America First agenda. This is a $3.4 million contract, a Council for Inclusive Innovation at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Department of Commerce, another DEI contract that DOGE identified. I can continue to go through these. Oh, I love this one, $57,000 for climate change in Sri Lanka. What is this doing to continue the interests of the American people? Absolutely nothing.
And it's pretty much a way to launder money for the government.
And that's the unfortunate thing. It's one of those situations where a lot of the criticism from the left about DOGE is really just minor procedural things, or they'll say something like, well, we already knew that this fraud or that this program was in place before you told us about it, and that'd be some sort of big gotcha to Elon. Well, if that was the case, then why didn't you guys handle it when you had the House for 4 years, from 18 to 22? They were the ones that were bankrolling those programs. So I don't know what they're complaining about.
I've also heard too, I forgot who I heard it from, but someone said those who are complaining the loudest, these are the ones you have to really watch out for. They were really in it deep. Like, these are the ones you should watch. So, because who like honestly is against cuts? Like, I understand, like, yeah, okay, there are certain things that society needs and whatever, but if it's waste, how are you against it?
You might like this joke I came up with you in mind. I said, Democrats love America the way I love my in-unit washer and dryer, so I can launder things at home.
Oh, hey, well, it's convenient.
Hey,
you know what I mean? Who wants to barely go launder things out there?
Yeah.
That's funny. I have a question for you here.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of the Elon Musk cuts to the USA, what happened to Vivek? Where'd he go?
So you're not terminally online. He's still alive. Blink twice if you need help, Vivek. No, but really, he was. You're not terminally online like I am, so you can catch me on X.
Well, and
Notionally ACC. That's Notionally ACC.
Yes. Well, you've always been. But we're the two sides of the coin, because you're online quite a bit, and I'm not online at all. And
yes,
I don't know if I should be, but I'm not. So it is what it is.
This will
but
explain.
Anyway, what happened to Vivek?
This will explain. This will explain what happened to Vivek. So
explain up.
This will be really quick. Over the Christmas holiday, he and Elon, and this is why a lot of people are angry at Elon, who were in the America First Coalition, unprovoked, they started talking about how they wanted to expand, or at least utilize in their own special way, the H-1B visa program. Are you aware of that? Of what that program is?
Yeah, so it's a visa program for immigrants, like in the service industry and kind of like manual labor-ish
right
jobs, right?
So like
okay.
What do they call it? Blue collar jobs. There's also another visa called I believe it's called the O1 visa, which is for the more high-skilled, technical-minded programmers, coders, and such who are foreign workers. Well, unprovoked, Vivek and Elon started tweeting how they wanted to use the H-1B program to bring in high-skilled Indian labor. The idea, you suck out their brain power by importing high-tech workers, and then you can go to the moon like we did after World War II. We didn't want the Soviets to get the Nazi
with the Nazis
doctors, so we brought some over under Operation Paperclip. Werner von Braun, etc. They helped us get to the moon. Anyway, you can disagree with that policy. I'm not going to complain about it.
So you said that's you just said that's when we sucked out the Nazis. That's literally it.
I mean, we literally did. No, it's true.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No problem. So over the course of the Christmas vacation, there was a huge civil war on X between the America First immigration restrictionists who hate H-1B visa abuse and Elon and Vivek who were trying to defend the program. In that civil war, some of the battles were about, if you want to use high-tech labor, then use the O1 visa program rather than H-1B, which is for more blue-collar jobs than the high-tech Silicon Valley type jobs. And so Trump did not like how Vivek was insulting American workers and such. Even Elon had said anybody who disagrees with him is a subtard, which I don't know what that is, but I assume it's a kind of retard. So I don't.
That's what Elon said that.
I appreciate being called that. Elon said that. He tweeted that out.
Well, subtard. That means so sub is below. So that means you're below retarded.
So below retarded. Wow. I mean, there you go. And so there was a lot of anger towards
subtard. Though, by the way,
Elon.
If you ever have, but Kirk, if you ever open a sandwich place, you have to have a sandwich called the subtard. Sounds delicious. Go ahead.
I'm sure I'd get sued from somebody, but we have. I'm sure the ACLU would not appreciate that. And so that's why Vivek is out of the DOGE situation, is because Trump had gotten wind of the things Vivek was saying, spared Elon the wrath, and essentially kicked out Vivek from the inner circle, as it were. And he's still around, still kicking, still adding commentary. Nothing like he was before.
Yeah, well, because not at all. I mean, I haven't heard anything.
Mm-hmm.
And unless
putting out tweets
said,
or whatever,
unless you're diving into, So, well, it's. I think are they thinking Senate maybe for him next?
So he was gunning for governor and then gunning for the Senate seat. Yeah, Ohio. He was actually J.D. Vance's college roommate or classmate, something like that. And so the rhino governor in Ohio picked another rhino named John Husted to fill J.D. Vance's Senate seat, because J.D. Vance used to be an Ohio senator. So that's where we're kind of sitting at right now. He's just kind of floating in the ether, as it were.
So I guess the question would be then, is it good to be outside of the Trump circle?
The Trump circle of trust. So Vice President J.D. Vance went to the Munich Security Conference in Germany a couple days ago and delivered a barn burner of a speech. And he did not really hold back on what he thought the future of Europe should look like.
Now, this is a security conference, and I'm sure you all came here prepared to talk about how exactly you intend to increase defense spending over the next few years in line with some new target. And that's great. because as President Trump has made abundantly clear, he believes that our European friends must play a bigger role in the future of this continent. We don't think, you hear this term, burden sharing, but we think it's an important part of being in a shared alliance together that the Europeans step up while America focuses on areas of the world that are in great danger.
Yeah, so the thing about that is Europe has always they've always kind of let us do most of the heavy lifting, right? Since World War II. I mean,
yeah, since 1945, we've been the central security component to Europe.
And so now it's time to kind of step up, guys. I mean, you have to. We can't do everything. That's what's amazing
and
about
step up to do what?
Step up to do their own defense, to do their own negotiating, to do their against Russia, against.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's Russia, but in theory, if you neutralize Russia, what's their next opponent? Oh yeah, just like everybody else in the world, the Middle East. You know, so I mean, they have to be united with that, and they have to be able to defend themselves against terrorist attacks with that. You know, and I don't know. It's what I think is amazing is people who are anti-Trump and they're anti his cuts and stuff. They're anti him, just his cut and slash and burn kind of thing. But we have to reform these things. We can't. People always say, like, why are we in these wars? Let's not be in these wars. Why are we even there? Well, this is part of it, where you look at people like Germany and like France and Spain and be like, hey guys, we're done. Like, you guys got to figure this out, because this is up to you. You're over here next to it. Like, you have to step up and you have to carry your own weight.
That sounds kind of isolationist, no?
Well, okay. I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, but I'm a realistic isolationist. That sounds exhausting.
That does. There's not enough hours in a day to be a.
It sounds like I'm an isolationist. I want to be by myself, but I'm realistic about it. You know, that's what that sounds like.
I know it's not possible, but I want it. Yeah.
Right. No, and I'm not. It isn't. I mean, it's not a form of isolationism. We're still going to help. I'm not saying that we're not going to help at all, but
what's your stance on Russia and Ukraine? The Russo-Ukrainian War.
So, I was thinking about this, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. Do you think, when Putin started this whole thing, do you think he honestly thought he could take Kyiv? Do you think he honestly thought he could take over the whole of Ukraine? Or do you think that he knew that there was going to be it's going to be a war of attrition, and so whatever he could take would then just be okayed by the world? Because what is funny is, like, everyone's like, he illegally invaded. There's no illegal invasion, okay, ladies and gentlemen. It's just invasion. It's like being, like, if you invaded me, it's like, all right, well, you invaded me, but you did it legally. That doesn't make it. That means you just
So you were saying with that last point about the illegal invasion, it's still wrong that they did it, but it's just an invasion. It's not a so-called illegal invasion, because it is just an invasion.
Yeah, lake effect snow. It's still just snow. Anyway, but my point is, do you think Putin did this thinking he'd take over Ukraine, or knowing he couldn't take over Ukraine, but doing this to really press the limits and press the bounds and actually get land back?
So the question is that, or just the Donbass, which is the eastern part of Ukraine,
and the Donbass, Donbass and the and Crimea. Like, right. Now,
well, they already own. Yeah, they already own.
They already owned it. They already owned it, but now it's like it's.
How I would think of it is, he wanted to get as much as he could, as quickly as he could, whatever he would be able to capture and hold, he would be happy with. So if that included
knowing he would get stuck at some point. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
So maybe he wasn't as successful in his initial thing, but he was just trying to grab whatever he could.
Yeah.
Because that makes
what's
the most
your
sense.
view? Yeah.
That's my thought, is that Because if he took over all of Ukraine quickly, I guess if he did that really quickly, the whole world would have been like, oh my God. And then if he would have, struck a deal with the rest with NATO, maybe. But I don't know. I just don't see how I don't see how him doing this makes sense to a degree. But then, like, all right, so he is grabbing, the areas he's grabbing are actually like, it's open, it's freshwater ports, it's minerals, it's a whole bunch of different stuff. So maybe this was like, maybe just grabbing these areas that was just actually the goal to begin with, before, that this whole invading Kiev was just kind of a false flag, I guess. But I don't know.
So some of their arguments make no sense. One of the things that tried to justify the Ukraine invasion, I say this with, for example, NATO expanded too far eastward, thus Putin invaded in response because Ukraine was playing footsie with NATO. However, invading Ukraine puts you on the border of at least 5 NATO countries, and NATO has Article 5 retaliation. And so it's like, what treaty do you honor? What do you ignore? It's a really messy situation that's only complicated by the fact that we had a president that was just non-compos mentos.
Oh, yeah.
Just
it's happening. Yeah. Not even there. It's very interesting. It's also interesting.
I support financing and funding Ukraine's defense. But if you try to send American troops to fight Europe's war, as J.D. Vance, he chastised Europe for that.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, there's no reason to be sending troops over. And the Ukraine has been such a plaything for the West and for Russia that to act. I mean,
yeah, you share those concerns about the money laundering and corruption there, and it's real. It's it still exists in Russia, in Ukraine.
Oh yeah. Well, that's another thing too. Is how much do you think Zelensky's involved in the actual talks? Because it kind of seems like now it's like Trump and Putin.
I mean, Trump just a couple days ago, as of this recording, he sent out a truth post where he said, "Yeah, I just talked with Putin. And by the way, I'm going to now tell Zelensky about it," which tells me that he's boxing out Zelensky. I think Zelensky knows he's persona non grata in the peace talks. He's going to have to accept whatever deal Trump and Putin come to, and that will most likely be land loss of the Donbass with added security guarantees for Ukraine.
That's interesting. I think, because if that was Putin's goal, then congratulations, you did it.
Yeah. So is that Trump selling out to Putin, or just dealing with the circumstances he was handed by the prior administration?
I think it's I mean, that's a realistic situation. That's what we're left with. And I mean, like, what else are you gonna do? I mean, because Russia's not gonna pull back now. Like, you're not gonna get rid of all of the Russian occupation of the area. Right. Yeah, so there's nothing else. You have to be like, all right, it's just to stop this. You guys take that. You guys take that. We're done. But I mean, and that's why, and that's always been, in theory, that's the only way out. That's the only way to stop it, I think. I mean, unless, have you heard anything else? Because
that's
Ukraine's not going to give up.
Pretty much where we're at.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. And speaking of completely rational and reasonable options for things. Okay. Can I paint a picture for you? Captain Kirk here. Can I paint a picture for you? Okay. So you're there with Mrs. Captain Kirk. Would you call her Major Kirk? So Captain Kirk and Major Kirk. You're on the beach, right? And you're having your second pina colada, right? And you're kind of like, hey, I don't know if I should get my third or not. And Major Kirk, she's like, we're on vacation. When's the next time you can come here and feel the sun and the sand here in Gaza?
Beachfront property.
What do you think?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Yeah. So do you think it's realistic, dude? Let's, first of all, I don't understand. I don't think anybody, did he talk about troops? You can't have troops there. Well, we'll have Mater D's? I don't understand. How are we going to occupy things and not? I don't know. Are we putting a base there?
No, I don't think we'll do that. I think we'll just let Israel have commercial rights to it once Trump gets Jordan and Egypt to accept the Palestinian refugees.
He's not going to get them to do that, though. They're not going to do that.
So King of Jordan was in the White House the other day, and Trump was like, "Yeah, you're going to do this." And the king tried to, "Hey, look at me, I'm a big boy too." But I think he understands that Trump has the leverage.
Why should the king take in the Palestinian people? He's made clear he doesn't want to.
Well, I don't know, but he may have just something to say because we discussed just briefly. I think maybe you want to say it now, or?
Well, Mr. President, I think we have to keep in mind that there is a plan from Egypt and the Arab countries. We're being invited by Mohammed bin Salman to discussions in Riyadh. I think the point is how do we make this work in a way that is good for everybody? Right. Obviously, we have to look at the best interests of the United States, of the people in the region, especially to my people of Jordan. And we're going to have some interesting discussions today. I think one of the things that we can do right away is take 2,000 children that are either cancer children or in very ill state to Jordan as quickly as possible, and then wait for, I think, the Egyptians to present their plan on how we can work with the president to work on the Gaza challenges.
I didn't know that, what you just said, 2,000 children with cancer or other problems, and that's really a beautiful gesture. That's really good, and we appreciate it. And we'll be working on the rest with Egypt. I think you're going to see some great progress. I think with Jordan, you're going to see some great progress.
And they already have millions of refugees there anyway. Because we control a lot of the financial aid, we can put tariffs on their oil, sanctions. We have multiple tools in the tool bag.
So we're just going to force Palestinians in Egypt and Jordan.
That's what it looks like.
Wow. What do you? Wow. I don't know. What do you think about that?
So I am not a Zionist. I wouldn't say I care much for Bibi Netanyahu. But since October 7th, Israel has had little choice but to fight in Gaza and conduct their counter-terrorism operations against Hamas. And the Gazans have had, 17 years of Hamas rule, haven't done anything to root them out themselves.
Advanced.
And so
yeah.
when you mess around, you find out, I believe is the PG way to phrase that. And so
the PG way is FAFO for O.
I can't spell, but anyway. Yeah, I think the Gazans have kind of lost their right to possess that territory because of the actions on October 7th and other examples as well.
I guess I am considered a Zionist. I think Israel has a right to exist. And unfortunately, these people have just been playthings. And it's
lateral damage, really. Lateral damage.
Yeah, well, no, on purpose. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe Trump's out of the box thing here might work. Hotel Gaza, you know what I'm saying? Go there for some surf lessons. The fishing in the Mediterranean is so nice. I mean, like, I don't know. They could, I don't know. That's just,
from the river to the sea, Gaza will be alcohol free. I don't know.
Oh my goodness!
Think of something.
Oh my god! What's a package deal? Gaza can be experienced with a bundle deal. Oh my goodness!
Contact your travel agent.
I mean, could you imagine though? And the way life is now, 5 years ago I would say there's no way that would work. That's ridiculous. Why would you even think that? But now, like, all right, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. I could maybe, my grandkids, like, Dad, I just got a job, but I'm going to be a chef at the Hard Rock, at Ramsey's Gaza, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I'm starting this new play in Rafa. Like, what? Oh, great. That's like cool. Good luck with
I'm
that.
an on Rafa musical player. On Rafa.
Yeah,
off Rafa.
I'm off Rafa, dude. This is going to be this is the biggest thing since Hollywood. Okay, great.
It's my big break.
Yes, that's great. But something with Trump and his first, it's been what, a month? How long has it been? A month and a half? A month?
It's been about a month.
A month.
As of this recording, maybe 4 days. Yeah, until the full month.
Yeah. So everything he's done, it's amazing what he's done. It really shows that he came prepared and he was ready out of the gate to do things. Like, Trump was not going to let this time any chances go begging here. Like, he was aiming for a target, and right out of the gate, whatever. But then it also shows to you how incompetent and just how lazy
in disarray the
Biden administration was.
Former administration was. Yeah. Now, was that incompetence or was that intentional? Right. Did they accidentally give Hamas or Iran $6 billion or Qatar, whatever it was?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, did they accidentally open up the borders?
Yeah. Did they accidentally slow roll aid to Ukraine? Yeah. Exactly.
Did they accidentally I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know.
With this administration, and I sent you the tweet of Mike Solana from something called, he's an editor-in-chief of Pirate Wires. He's pretty good on Twitter /X, as they say. Trump's second term feels more like restarting a game at a save point after losing. It's his first term played again, and now he knows where all the bosses are waiting and how to exploit their weaknesses. Much worse for Democrats than if he'd won in 2020, and that's just undoubtedly true. He's pedaled to the metal. He has his team in place. Doesn't have oil lobbyists in as Secretary of State. He has Marco Rubio. He has RFK in Tulsi, and soon we'll have Cash as FBI director. It's wonderful.
Well, you can tell who's ready to go off the gate, which, he had time to think about it.
Yeah. If they didn't screw around, if they didn't screw around and just let him do his thing for another term, he'd have been gone. He'd have been off in the sunset. But because they hated him so much, they had to do the things they did. The 51 Intel agents saying the laptop was fake, and things about COVID and the race riots of 2020. He'd be gone by now, and they would have probably another chance at the apple with somebody more competent than Biden or Harris. But no, they couldn't leave well enough alone, and so now he's back with a vengeance.
Well, they issued in the Reformation.
Yeah, they did.
Honestly, they issued in the Reformation, which brings us to our next point. How the Democrats are handling everything. I know the DNC, the chair. When was that election? That was last week, right?
Yeah, that was about a week and a half ago.
Oh, dude, and the clips coming out of that are just astounding. When they had to do the roll call and they had to figure out, we have one male, one female, we need a bi, we need somebody with a third nipple. Hey, are you lactose intolerant? Get on up here. Hey, right. What do you like to hump? All right, that's great. Get on, all right, get up on here, up on stage. It was just, oh my goodness, what a cluster.
It was a circus, a literal circus.
We must elect one male, one female, and one person of any gender. So again, this is what we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect one male, one female, and one person of any gender. To ensure our process accounts for male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our RBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others to ensure that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements in our rules. To do this, our process will be slightly different than the one outlined to you earlier this week, but I hope you will see that in practice it is simple and transparent.
And the audience kept heckling the hosts. It was Jonathan Capehart, Jen Psaki, and Simone Sanders. And the moderators could not get a handle on that audience. They were tearing them a new one.
Thank you. I want to ask specifically about something that came up. We're going to continue to go forward. I want to ask specifically about something that came up during the election, and I will direct this question to you, Governor O'Malley, and to you, Mr. Martin. We're going to continue to go forward. About 1/3 of Donald Trump's advertising, campaign advertising in October of 2004, pardon me, we'll wait a second. Thank you. So we're going to continue on.
Well, it's because it's too wide of a spectrum now. Now they were so accepting of everything that now they can't wrangle all these cats. And it shows you like the logistics and the bureaucracy that they love, that they have to find someone that's a female, they have to find someone that's a male, they have to find this thing, and they have to like organize everything. It's oh my goodness. You would think that the identity thing and the extreme left thinking, the election of Trump shows them that this is not what the American public wants. So you think as a party, you would evolve thusly, right?
You would think so. Unfortunately, if you listen to the Pod Save America interview with Harris's former staffers, they have no answer to anything. And so when the Trump campaign put out that she's for them, he's for you ad about the transgender prisoners and
which toasted their biscuits, dude. That commercial, I think over everything that happened during the campaign, that commercial alone toasted their biscuits so bad. They got so mad at it, and it was so effective.
It was very effective, and they had no answer to it. And their only way to respond to it is, well, we didn't really talk about that as an issue on the campaign trail. It's like, yeah, but that's the point, is that she hadn't denounced it. She hadn't done anything to denounce or renounce that policy prescription, on top of the desire to bring back, 1970s era price controls and go after the wealthy with expanded taxes and everything. They had no response to any of the criticisms and have the audacity to complain about unfair media coverage and such. Like, get real, guys.
Well, and I do like them getting called out on Joe Rogan.
Oh, yes. That was great.
That's very funny. Who says the media is manipulated? Get out of here. That's ridiculous. I think the fires in LA are going to be very telling. I don't know. We'll see. I don't understand how everything can be falling apart around you and you still vote the same way. I don't understand. But I'm not a Republican. Yeah, I'm not either. So maybe whatever. But I don't understand if something is just horribly wrong, why do you keep doing it this way?
And reporting is coming out that Karen Bass paid her husband, or directed aid to her husband's firm or something to the tune of a couple millions of dollars.
Oh boy.
Great timing. And then when she froze, when that reporter was asking about her trip to Ghana while the city was on fire, and you can tell that she had no answer and was not at all wanting to be open and transparent, as they say.
Yeah, well, I don't think she knew what to say. I don't think she was like, talk about your hand. I would say her hand was caught in the cookie jar. But I would say the more equivalent would be her head was in the oven. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
She was feeling the heat. She was definitely. But we'll see. I don't.
Very
I think the Democrats. Yeah, I think the Democrats have a lot to prove, and I don't know. A, I don't know if they're going to step up, and B, to a degree, I don't think it matters. I don't think the Democratic Party will care, which is nuts.
I don't think so either.
Which is absolutely crazy. Which means, in all honesty, 4 years from now, J.D. Vance will be the next president of the United States.
Where are you wrong? The only way. Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
I don't see how they fight this. I don't see how they. I just don't see
who's on their bench? Who's on their roster? Mayor Pete as a potential presidential candidate. AOC, who calls
AOC, dude, come on, AOC,
who calls Elon dumb.
AOC,
ridiculous. Yeah.
Okay, who else?
Jennifer Granholm, I guess.
Well,
Gavin. Yeah.
Okay, so can Gavin Newsom go up again on the recall, or is he done now? Is like he's done until the end of his term?
I'm not sure if he's term limited. I'm not sure. I can quickly find out. But the fact that everything goes to hell under his administration rather than a bug is a feature and appreciated by the left. You know, you'll hear critics of Newsom. Oh, he's done this and that to California. His COVID response was malicious and nonsensical. Guys, that's what the Democrats love about him. And he has a lot of money, and he's survived 2 recalls. Yeah, he's for the Democrats a great candidate. I'm not saying for the rest of America.
He's quintessential political. He's a politician. You look up politician in the dictionary,
right.
You'll see a
exactly.
picture right there. I guess that's a very dated term, though, right? We should say you look up politician on Wikipedia, you'll see a link. Right? Would that be more equivalent? You know what I'm saying? I don't think that works nowadays. That saying.
Yeah, it's a bit archaic at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Grok says yes. Gavin Newsom is term limited. He'll be leaving after 2026. So 2027, he's out of office.
Right. So
just in time to run for president. Right. Just in time to run for president.
Well, yeah. I mean, because if he did, and then we have Kamala running for governor, you know, why not?
Oh my God. Oh, jeez. but she can she maintain her irrelevancy to that point though?
Absolutely. I don't know. Yeah.
Her irrelevancy, you know.
It's going to be a long 4 years. It's going to be a long 4 years for Democrats.
It will be. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you burned through $1.5 billion of campaign donations on all these celebrities, and nobody cared. You actually did worse than your predecessor. And they complain, oh, it was only 107 days. Then we're also told at the same time that she ran a flawless campaign. And that's just that damn media. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. Well, no, it was people who actually paid attention.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's what we would refer to as the voters. That's what we. It's if you're going to blame anybody, I mean, really the fault was the voters. They're a bunch of assholes. But speaking of assholes, last thing I want to talk about is the Kanye West thing.
Yes.
Outside, yeah. So Kanye West. So tell me, do you know the details to this? Because from what I know, he took $8 million. He took out a local ad in the LA market during the Super Bowl, right?
Right. Yes.
And it cost $8 million. Mm-hmm. And he shot this ad. He paid $8 million. He shot the ad on his iPhone. Have you seen the ad?
I saw it once during the Super Bowl, but I haven't watched it since. I didn't know what was going on.
How did you see it? How did you see it during the Super Bowl? I know you're in an undisclosed location, but I know sure as hell it's not L.A.
I have a 100% safe streaming service that in no way is pirated or illegal. I mean, I don't know what you're even talking about.
Anyway, so it was in the LA market. So he pretty much just wastes time, right?
Yes.
Like it's 30 seconds, and he talks for like 10 seconds, and then just goes for 20 seconds, and then shows a link or shows a barcode or something, and if you scan it, it then took you to a T-shirt that had a swastika on it.
Yes.
Okay, and then no one knew what was going on, so he completely fooled the channel, the broadcasters, because they couldn't keep up with what he did. So
and he's also been tweeting a lot of stuff. He's also been posting on X things like "I am Hitler" and talking about Jews and all that stuff.
Well, he's losing his mind. He's losing his mind. Yeah,
he hasn't had his mind in like 10 years.
Well, then I forget what they
crazy
call it, but the swastika is actually like it's like an ancient Hindu,
like a Tibetan or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a symbol of peace. When I used to sell cars, these East Indians, they would buy the car and then they would have a ceremony on it to bless it, and there'd be swastika. Like, what you would call swastika.
Yeah. Right.
But I think it's like it went the other way or whatever. But my point is and maybe this is what Kanye is saying, is that this symbol he's trying to
reclaim
label. Yeah, he's trying to brand. He's trying to rebrand the swastika. Maybe. That's
what a noble endeavor for that guy.
That's the only logical thing I can think that he's trying to do right now, is he's trying to rebrand the swastika. So now that he's doing that, I was thinking,
why though?
No, but listen, that's not the point. All right, so
it is
no, it's not. So you're trying to rebrand the swastika. So I say we participate in our own form of rebranding. We have our notionally accurate T-shirt, hammer and sickle. You know what I'm saying? And then
hard work.
Yeah, hard work. You be the hammer, I be the sickle. You know what I'm saying? And
very productive.
Say notionally accurate, hammer and sickle up there. But we're not communists. We're rebranding.
No, definitely not. I mean, I'll just tweet out "I am Stalin" and how great Bolsheviks are.
We're not.
We're not
hold
communists.
On,
No.
No, we're not crazy, and we're also not crazy. That's Kanye. That's he's nothing fuss. You know what I'm saying?
Took it a scoosh too far.
A skosh? No, that's a football field. Yeah, we're not that rich to be that crazy.
Thanks for listening to episode 15 of the Notionally Accurate podcast with Captain Kirk and some guy named Jason. More to come on future episodes. Find this podcast on SoundCloud, Rumble, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitter /X @NotionallyACC. That's @NotionallyACC. Email us at notionallyaccurate@protonmail.com. Take care, and remember, even if you can't be factually correct, you can always be notionally accurate.